It's a pleasure to meet you, Rose. Talk
Thank
about
you,
The Last
too.
Witch Hunter. First of all, let's talk about your character. She's a witch, but not a bad one.
But not a bad one. She's essentially very good, but not a bad one, exactly. She is, so Chloe is a modern day witch. I mean, she doesn't necessarily have, the warts at the end of her chin or nose, luckily. And she is working and living within New York. And in my mind, she has always, she's a fierce woman and has had to grow up looking after herself. And as a result, this self-reliance has kind of created this bar that she has started from scratch. And that's what leads Calder to her door.
No, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the environment where he meets her. It's a bar, as you were saying. Yes. It's her own business.
Yes.
And it's for witches only?
It is, for witches only. For witches only. And so, yeah, exactly, no humans are allowed. And it is a memory bar where, essentially, witches can come in, sit down, and they can tap into their past. And if they wish to kind of, like, think or get nostalgic about their childhood or anything like that, then they can kind of, like, drift off and enter their own memories.
I think there's a whole history of witches throughout the years and centuries that you can research and tap into. So were you interested in that aspect about, how in real life there's been real witch hunts?
Oh, absolutely. And kind of witchcraft is incredibly present, yes. Yeah. I researched quite a lot prior to starting or shooting on this movie, and I kind of focused towards the Salem witch trials. And after a while, I mean, they were so harrowing and really, really disturbing, just the way that they weren't all women, but 20 people were prosecuted and they were predominantly women. And the lack of proof, or it was just horrible the way that humans treated humans. And in the end, I kind of like realised that it was getting me into a very dark mood, so I kind of just left it at bay.
And you could go to Europe and the Inquisition, and then it gets
but that's pretty nasty as well. Yeah, exactly. That is not a light read, the Inquisition.
Well, this movie is also for the entertainment. You kind of go on those sets and everything around you. I mean, to her bedroom is so pretty.
Isn't
and
it
so
lovely?
detailed.
That wall of
with
light.
all the lights and stuff. It's a very good idea actually for the design of a bedroom.
I wanted to take it home. I really wanted to take it home.
So do you keep that enthusiasm when you turn up on those sets about what's going around you, what's going on around you, and does it inform the role?
Well, I feel that certainly it informs the energy that you bring onto set, because with a movie of this scale, I mean, not only has it been an education for me, but certainly the amount of effort and production value that has gone into every single set. And kind of talking about Chloe's apartment, kind of walking in there for the first time, I was mesmerised. And that absolutely, of course, fed her world and who she is as a person. The fact that she has a wall full of plants and lights. And
she loves the light. She doesn't like darkness.
She hates the dark. Exactly. That, of course, has to inform you in the way that you hold yourself physically. But no, I mean, I was a giddy girl for a good while on that movie, just being like, oh my God, this whole setup is amazing.
Did you get to work with Sir Michael Caine, or did you get to meet him?
I had one day, I did get to meet him, very briefly. And I also had one day working with him, but this happened to be a scene whereby, I'm not even sure if it's made the movie, but it happened to be a scene whereby he was asleep. Yeah. And I was kind of watching him sleep in a really creepy way.
Yeah, and you're in the other room, so I can't also remember as well if you...
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
It's
a bit creepy to see him still.
Yeah, it's really, really creepy to see him still, but it's also rather creepy with me watching him through a cracked door. But of course, I kind of, told my family and my friends that I happened to be in a scene with Sir Michael Caine. And
he plays that really well, so, he's even talented when he's playing.
Exactly, it just emanates from him.
Let's talk about Vin Diesel, the expectations before you meet him, and then when you meet him, how it changes, or does it stay the same?
Well, I think certainly kind of like with my childhood, I grew up listening to his voice. I knew his voice very, very well.
Deep voice.
It's so resonant, isn't it? Yeah, like it's incredible. Yeah. Like, and it's kind of pricks up my ears. And so I was, of course, a little bit kind of intimidated by meeting him, but I think, I think kind of like I met him at his home, and, I was then welcomed by his family, and so that intimidation or just kind of nervousness, I suppose, very soon left me, and he's a lovely, very lovely man, very warm and welcoming, and but even, kind of like the rest of the cast members on this movie have been just as amazing, so I'm a very lucky lady.
Yeah, I just spoke to Elijah Wood, and he's so interesting. He's such a lover of cinema. He's such a lover of the craft and all these things.
Yeah, he really is. He's highly intelligent. Yeah, he has such a love for what he does. And so it was wonderful to be able to work with him and kind of get to know him. It was maybe about a 4-month project. So, yeah, it was lovely.
But to our audiences who are discovering you, tell us a little bit about you, about your background and how you got to the role.
So a little bit about me and my background.
As an actress.
As an actress. I was approached by Breck, actually, to play the character of Chloe. And so after reading the script for the first time, he and I then had a meeting on Skype. Luckily it didn't freeze too much. But we had a meeting on Skype, and therefore kind of like I understood where he wanted to go with this world, with this forever kind of interchanging reality that we kind of dip in and out of. And visually, I was just completely struck by what he wanted to project. And I, was incredibly fortunate and very happy to take the ride with him.
Have fantasy movies or even fantasy literature been a part of your upbringing? I assume so.
A part of my upbringing, yes, it has. I think certainly kind of with Game of Thrones being fantasy, that was my first ever job whereby it was in that genre, and I'm now completely enamoured of it. I think that it's a fabulous genre to be a part of and so interesting, and that it's boundless in the sense that you can explore 100 different avenues and never really get to the end of it just because it's all in your imagination.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And imagination is probably the reason why anyone wants to become an actor, because it is all about making your imagination work and all these things. So is that what you enjoyed the most about the job?
It is. You're absolutely right. I think it is fabricating a character, making sure that you don't use your own instincts, and therefore it's almost kind of putting on a hat and taking it off and portraying that and staying true to good writing, staying true to a brilliant script, and I think that it's something that challenges you, and it should challenge you to hopefully kind of like make you better as an actor, but make sure that you keep audiences guessing as well.
True. Your favorite actors?
My favourite actors. How many do you want?
Let's say top 3.
Top 3. I'm a huge admirer of Kate Blanchett.
Who isn't? She's fantastic.
Isn't she fantastic? I'm a bit of a lover of the Kates, though.
Yeah.
I love Kate Winslet as well. And then, oh gosh. Oh wow. No, I'm having a few through my head now.
A male one, perhaps.
A male one. See, I'm thinking of women. I would say a male one. Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, he's so good.
I think he's brilliant. Oh, but Samantha Morton as well. I think that she's fabulous. I'm kind of going through all my head. 3's not enough.
Three's never enough. It's like when people ask me what are my favorite films, I'm like, do we have the whole day?
Yeah, exactly.
There's good films and good actors in every medium, so that's the answer to it. And what's your next plan? What are your next projects?
My next project, I was, having always been a fan of this show, Luther, starring Idris Elba, that will be coming back in December. And so we shot that earlier on this year. And that's brilliant. I play a character who is new to their team. And obviously together we kind of like try and stop the very, very nasty villain who we come across in the new episodes. And then I have kind of switched it up with a different piece of genre, and I worked on a sci-fi movie called Morgan, so that will be coming out next year as well.